Last night, I didn't really sense that was that much of a problem. Really, was it that he was under pressure? I mean, I know they hit him a few times. I know they got to him a few times, but that happens in every game, in my opinion, in the NFL. The problem I had with him was not the offensive line last night. It was that he was throwing balls away and throwing balls into the ground and missing his receivers by 5 yards and throwing over their heads and at their feet and missing them altogether by, I mean, just horribly. And then fumbling the ball. He fumbled twice. And, one time recovered it. Second time just was the most humiliating fumble I've seen since Garo Yepremian in the Super Bowl between the Redskins and Dolphins back in the day in their perfect season, 72. That was the worst play I've ever seen watching this Osweiler guy last night. But I wasn't really, I guess I didn't wake up or go to bed thinking their line sucked. I went to bed thinking he sucked. And I know you're right. And they lost another lineman last night, Newton. They are in trouble up front. I wouldn't disagree with that at all. And I think you're right that they should make that their priority now. You got a quarterback for your future set with him, with the money you owe him, so you know he's your quarterback. So you need to, I think, obviously, make deals, trades, or draft front line. That should be priority. And secondary. That should be the whole priority of the organization. I would agree with that. O'Brien's telling everybody he's not going to sit him down. I think the fans are going to keep calling for it if they keep losing. But I think, we discussed it. They've got 2 easy games now, in my opinion. Detroit at home, they should win. I like Detroit when they play at Ford Field. I'm not a big fan of them away. I think Stafford is okay. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. Everybody gives him all this credit. He's this great quarterback. He's never won anything. So he's got a lot of come-from-behind wins in the NFL. Big deal. He's got no success beyond that. Has he really? I mean, what playoff wins, Super Bowls is not happening. So look, bottom line is, I think they can still win that game and then go to Jacksonville and win that game. It's the Raider-Charger games I'm worried about. The Raider game in Mexico City I'm worried about. I think Derek Carr can beat him. It comes down to, a lot of these games, quarterbacks. Who's playing who? And then position players. Who's playing who? So, bottom line is, they looked horrible last night. There's no denying it, Joe. And he looked terrible. I thought he was the reason they lost. I thought his passes were garbage, throwing him into the ground, fumbling, overthrowing receiver. Never hit anyone over 10 yards. It was embarrassing. Late in the game, he had like 70 yards. It was embarrassing. So, obviously, people are very angry. At the same time, I know they lost 3 games on the road to 3 really good teams. I think, relatively speaking, the Pats, Vikings, and Broncos are good teams with good defenses. And so I'm not surprised they lost those games. I'm surprised they got blown out in all those games. That he's not showing up for big games is more of a problem for me than his weak-ass performance in those games. He's not showing up for big games, which is exactly why you got him. You paid him all that money to win playoff games, and if you can't win games against good teams in the regular season, how are you ever going to win games against good teams in the playoffs? You're not.